Good morning. This is week 3 of Social Work 670, Grief and Loss Across the Life Cycle. In terms of looking at what's required for this week, we have, as always, our objectives, reading, and media. The objectives for this week are as follows: to identify and discuss developmental considerations. This is around grief in terms of children. Comprehend the impact of family death on a child, mother, father, sibling, grandparents, etc. Identify and discuss losses related to foster care and adoption, and identify and address the impact of traumatic grief on children. There are required readings from the chapters 4 and 5, and then 2 articles, one on addressing the needs of military children through family-based play therapy. That article talks about issues related to deployment and many relocations and the stress around deployment, and in addition, in times of conflict, parents that may not survive that conflict. The other article is on foster children's expression of ambiguous loss. And ambiguous loss occurs because there may be a physically present parent, but one who's psychologically absent, a physically absent parent, but who's psychologically present, and then all these relationships in transition with children in foster care. In addition, there is a video this week on a child and her sibling who had to be removed from a parent's home, and what she experienced when also that sibling was moved from her. So take a look at that video, read the articles for this week on grief and loss with children. In addition, for this week, there is a reminder about a film analysis that's due. That film analysis is due week 4. So you want to go back to your original syllabus to look at the assignments. And you will see that there are 3 possible videos: The Blind Side, Precious, and Mornings with Maury. And so you want to take a look at those, decide which film you want to look at, and then do your analysis based on the requirements that are listed in the syllabus. In addition, there is one discussion for this week, working with childhood loss. So you're going to do your initial prompt by Thursday and your follow-ups by Sunday. They're required that you follow up with 2 of your classmates. So for this week, whether you work directly with children at your agency or indirectly through the work you perform with adults who have children in their lives, having a basic understanding of childhood loss is essential in terms of performing quality social work. So based on everything you know from readings, videos, and assignments, identify any issue or issues that stood out as particularly relevant to the population you serve in your agency. Give the reasons why you feel this way, and additionally, what did you learn from this week's assignments that you did not know before? What did you learn about resilience? What did you learn about hope? And again, you are responding to 2 of your classmates for this week. The film analysis for week 4, it's a 3-page requirement, so keep that in mind as well. So it's 1 post for this week. To talk a little bit about loss and grief as it pertains to younger children, a lot of the focus this week is on 3 types of loss: death of a parent or sibling, parents' divorce or separation, and adoption and foster care. And so one thing we have to consider with younger children in particularly is where they are developmentally. Resilience, children who show the greatest resilience, it depends on their background, their personal capacities, their family capacities, social capacities such as their peers or other adults in their lives, cultural capacities, how they are able to participate in rituals, for example, which may help in easing their grief process, and then community capacities. How can the community, their religious faith, their religious expressions, etc., help in terms of easing their grief and loss? The characteristics of children who have fewer difficulties following a parent's death in particular include the quality of their child care, the child's relationship with the surviving parent, the parent's warm and comforting presence, and an active problem-solving style that also supports the child's competencies, the family's stability and cohesiveness, open and shared communication of information about what's happened, and their encouragement to express their feelings and ask questions, and having adequate resources like income, social supports, and opportunity to participate in community, cultural, and religious rituals surrounding the death. So those areas help with a child having fewer difficulties about losing a parent or other significant person in their life. When children are experiencing complicated grief, the readings also talk about a few interventions and when you should seek professional help. And that's when the child has been assessed and there's a determination of prolonged depression, extreme difficulty relaxing, less concern about his or her appearance, symptoms that affect the child's physical health, avoidance of social contact, activities, or hobbies that they used to like, feelings of worthlessness, sleep disturbances like nightmares or inability to sleep, difficulty with social schoolwork or behavior problems in school, that tends to be the one that gets identified first, psychosomatic complaints, my throat hurts, my stomach hurts, and there is no determination of a physical cause, eating disruptions or disorders, eating too much, too little, regressive behaviors also. So regressing to an earlier point in their developmental process. Support groups are one area that may be of assistance, and the readings talk a lot about play and play therapy. Support groups, you may want to take a look at a group that is funded by Highmark. Highmark has funded in several locations in Pennsylvania a program called Caring Place. This is designed for children who have experienced the loss of a significant other in their life. It's based on a support group model, not a clinical model. So you might want to take a look at that. It also is based on a support theory, and there are many, many of these groups across the country, but in Pennsylvania, Highmark has funded several of them. And this enables children to be paired with peers their age, adult facilitators that help them work through that loss and grief process. So take a look at Highmark's Caring Place. So I look forward to reading your post this week, and hope that you start your film analysis so it'll be ready by week 4. If you have any questions, please email me, send me an email through the course shell or at norma.thomas13@gmail.com, and I will be happy to answer your questions. Have a good week.